We're going to stick with tech here and talk about another giant. This time it's Apple. We're talking about a call from Needham on the stock today. It's our call of the day. Laura Martin there, maintaining a buy rating on the stock, raising her price target to $140 a share. Now, this comes after Apple unveiled 2 new watches, 2 iPads, subscription services yesterday. And Myles, you and I had talked about this, I guess yesterday during the show, maybe it was this morning during our morning meeting, but Laura is most excited about the bundled services, saying that the economics of it is very powerful. And it goes back to the strength of Apple's ecosystem. And if you're able to get more and more people involved in the ecosystem, obviously that's going to pay off here in the longer term.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we've had Laura on our program over the last couple of months, and I believe the criticism that Laura has leveled at her peers who cover Apple is that they are all gearheads who started covering the tech space in the beginning of the 2000s when it was really exciting what the next iPhone looked like. And now it doesn't really matter what the next iPhone looked like. Everybody has an iPhone, and the services that are built around whether it's Apple products, and I think the way that Android is punting on that ecosystem to an extent, like that's where the opportunity is. And so to see this call from Laura and the team over at Needham makes sense, because I think that it's really about reimagining as an analyst and as an investor. And we've seen the market do this pretty aggressively, but I think the analyst community might be a little bit lagging here to reimagine Apple, not as a hardware company, but as a software company with a hardware kind of lock-in, if that makes sense. You really are trying to value the AWS, as it were, versus the product of ordering whatever it is on Amazon. And I think that kind of a shift continues to be worked out in these events, which, they announced a new iPad. It looks very nice, but it also looks like the iPad I have. And it's really about the services that the upgrades they're doing, the bundles that they are now offering, that I think are the next phase for Apple. And not even the next phase. It's the phase right now. It's just how are investors going to appreciate what kind of multiple that warrants, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point, Myles. I mean, it really is that the company is changing. And if you think about it, they're legacy shareholders and legacy analysts. I mean, is there an ecosystem analyst out there? Is there a flywheel analyst out there? Not really, but is there a platform analyst out there? These people don't really exist. And yet all of a sudden, like the bookseller analyst, the online bookseller analyst becomes the Amazon analyst. It's a totally different job, a totally different company. And then the shareholders need to understand it. So I was actually surprised a little bit and delighted for Apple management, if that's even possible to say, which I don't really care one way or the other. But, the stock didn't go down. I mean, the stock was sort of flat on yesterday because it was sort of like bells and whistles signifying nothing, to your point, Myles, from a hardware standpoint. But from a platform standpoint, a lot going on. Just got to understand it's different. It's a different ballgame.
And you guys, I think also it's worth noting, as you both have noted, really, but the Dan Ives from Wedbush, which is a different analyst, but he's basically noted that it's the 2 pillars: the services for Apple and the drum roll to the 5G super cycle. And the services is really increasingly becoming such an important component for Apple. And it's kind of surprising also that they didn't announce this bundling sooner. It could have been announced sooner, but it's surprising that it's coming now, but maybe more to come even in the future.
I guess better late than never, but you could also argue that they're launching the fitness part of this at the perfect time, when over the last couple of months, people have been changing their behavior because of the coronavirus. They're more likely maybe to sign up for the Fitness Plus app, I believe it's called, for $10 a month at this point than maybe they were 10, 11, 12 months ago. But I think you guys are totally right, just in terms of how we're changing the way that we value this company, obviously becoming more of a services play, how that is so crucial and can really be a huge growth avenue for this company going forward. And again, Laura Martin has been really, I guess, restating this over and over again, the importance of the services play, how so many of her peers are getting it wrong. She's doing it again today, highlighting that the subscription services were the biggest part of Apple's announcement.